Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is the story about Naruto. What if Naruto mastered Dōjutsu? Part 1. Hope you'll enjoy this video. So before we start, please do support for more awesome content and also hit the subscribe button and share this video with your friends. And also support the creator of this fanfic. I have created many playlists, check it out in the channel. So let's start the video. "You are the nine-tailed fox," shouted Mizuki from his position in the treetops, laughing maniacally as he pulled his second giant shuriken off of his back. "No," yelled Iruka weakly, having taken the first of Mizuki's shuriken to the back. "Actually I'm not," stated Naruto calmly, much to the shock of both Chunin, but especially Mizuki, who was hoping to mentally cripple the blonde idiot to make his escape easier. Mizuki recovered quickly, hoping to convince the blonde that it was the Kyuubi, redoubled his efforts. "Yes you are. The Yondaime sealed the nine-tailed fox and me the day of the attack, and yada yada yada. I already knew that idiot. I've known for like 6 years now. Hell, I've talked to the damn thing. I was doing it while I was waiting for you to get here. How am I not supposed to know about it?" stated Naruto. "However, I also know that it's an S-class secret, so I guess that means I have to kill you or bring you to Ibiki. I still owe him 20 ryo from that damn poker game last month." To say that both Iruka and Mizuki were confused was like saying that all Kage only disliked paperwork. They were searching their brains for anything that they could think of that would explain the child in front of them. After all, this was Naruto, the idiot prankster who didn't have a care in the world. How could he know he was a container, even talk to the fox? Who is Naruto? Mizuki decided that he was bluffing and to call him on it. "Yeah right, demon, you're a failure. You couldn't touch me. Let alone kill me. Do you really think a failure could beat a Chunin? You must be dumber than I thought." In the blink of an eye, Naruto was behind him, holding a kunai to the throat of the trader's Chunin. "Mizuki, do you enjoy using your legs?" questioned Naruto, his tone cool and careless, not unlike a certain silver-haired jounin. "No shit, I like my legs, you piece of sh." He was cut off when Naruto slipped the kunai in his other hand into the base of Mizuki's spine, effectively paralyzing the man. Naruto pushed him off the tree limb, letting him fall with no way of safely landing, and in a matter of seconds 3 things happened. Iruka saw Mizuki's legs collapsed beneath him, Naruto push him off the branch they were standing on, and when Mizuki was about 3 feet from hitting the ground, Naruto appeared and threw an incredibly hard uppercut to the exposed jaw of Mizuki, sending him back into the air. Only for him to return to the ground hard when out of nowhere, an Anbu dropped Mizuki to the ground with a wicked axe kick to the base of his skull, sending the wayward Chunin into sweet unconsciousness. "Nice shot, dog, though I really wanted to be the one to knock him out," stated Naruto in a positive tone. "Now Fox, no need to be sad. After all, with this, you're finally out of Anbu, just like you wanted, though you might not like the team you're with now," said Dog, removing his mask, revealing a very amused Kakashi. "Haddock, after all, it won't be easy going from Anbu to being on a genin team. You should thank the heavens that the Sandaime let me be your sensei. You could have gotten Asuma, and he is literally part Nara." Now, Iruka was many things, and an idiot was not one of them. In fact, at one point, the academy teacher was once an Anbu, though he always said he wasn't cut out for it. So seeing his former Anbu captain refer to Naruto as Fox, a name only ever given to one other Anbu ever, he was quite confused. What the hell? What is going on? "Iruka, nice to see you again. Come with us, you've already seen enough, you might as well know everything else. Besides, it will be nice to catch up with my old student," stated the lazy scarecrow as he began walking back to the village. "Naruto, you carry the traitor Hokage's office." Iruka had just entered the office of the Hokage, only to once again be surprised by what he was seeing. Kakashi and Naruto standing at attention. This is not the part that surprised Iruka though. What surprised him was that the Hokage was handing Kakashi a jonin flak jacket and Naruto 2 headbands, one the normal leaf headband, though it had black fabric, showing Naruto was a specialist. The other was a strange golden headband with an unknown symbol on it. The symbol was a type of swirl. It looked almost 3-dimensional, though it obviously wasn't, seeing as it was on a flat surface. It was after seeing the second headband that he finally decided to listen to what was being said. "Kakashi, Naruto, this was your last mission as Anbu. I'm very proud of both of you, and I don't believe I would be overstepping my boundaries to say that you two were close to, if not the best operatives I've seen in the last decade. With this mission, you are both listed in the Konoha official ninja book. Kakashi, you will retake the rank of elite jounin, allowing you command of troops in wartime. Naruto, I'm sorry, but you will have to be a genin, but you will keep your Anbu level clearance. Stated the aged Kage, a smile on his face. That's so unfair. I'm head and shoulders ahead of the others in my class. Did you know how hard it was to act that dumb? I'm sure everyone in the class thinks I'm an idiot, stated the still childish Naruto, though the way his chakra flared reminded everyone just how strong he was. May I ask what's going on here? Shouted Iruka, completely confused as to what was happening around him. Kakashi looked at the Chunin teacher like he grew a second head, then it clicked that everyone but the Hokage and Anbu were kept in the dark. He grinned sheepishly, not that you could tell, and rubbed the back of his head in an embarrassed way, something that Naruto mirrored. Sure, Sense was no longer Anbu, I see no reason why not. Lord Hokage? I see no reason why not. How about you, Naruto-kun? Asked the aged Kage. Sure, as long as he promises not to repeat what he hears in this room. Stated Naruto. Iruka was shocked yet again by the tone of voice that his student spoke, a tone he remembered from his days in Anbu, one of complete and total confidence. Iruka nodded dumbly and took a seat, somehow he knew this was going to warrant a seating position. Well, I might as well tell you all the important details first. What do you know about Minato Namikaze? Next day, team assignments. Naruto was sitting in the top row, as far into the left corner as possible, he was the first one there. He sat waiting for the first person to enter the room, though he had only been there for 5 or 10 minutes, he was extremely bored. Naruto thought to himself, I wonder how long until you question me about why I'm here? I don't exactly have the smartest classmates. Maybe they won't even recognize me? That would be hilarious. The truth is that most people wouldn't recognize him. After he had made it home last night, he had changed his wardrobe. No more was the orange and blue jumpsuit, but instead a modified version of his Anbu uniform. Dark blue cargo pants with an orange stripe, starting from the hip and ending in a point just under the side of his knee. A black muscle shirt almost completely covered by a dark gray Anbu vest. Dark blue arm sleeves that went from his wrist to his elbow, all of which had orange stitching. Black shinobi sandals, and the final touch, 2 headbands, the first being the standard leaf headband, rightfully on his forehead. The second was the gold-plated swirl headband, which was tied around his right bicep. If you haven't figured it out yet, it's a headband from Yuzoshiogakure. He was still stuck in his musings as one of his classmates entered the room. He looked to see Shino Aburam looking at him with a raised eyebrow, which to an Aburam meant total shock. Naruto chose to ignore him and speak to his tenant. Closing his eyes and resting his head on his forearms, he began to slip into the dreamlike state that granted him access to his slumbering prisoner. Mindscape. Oi. Fox, wake up, I got a while before I need to do anything, and I have a few questions. Stated Naruto as he walked up to the giant prison cell of the great beast. And just what might those be? I swear, if you repeat any of the questions from last night, threatened the calm yet booming voice of the Nine-Tails Fox. In all honesty, the massive chakra enjoyed his time talking to his container, it was a much better alternative to doing nothing all day. First off, could you find anything about that weird thing that happened on the mission in Grass Country? Asked Naruto, who had been racking his brain for the last 6 months after the event. I have nothing solid, though I do have a hunch, your mother was a full-blooded Uzumaki, correct? Asked the fox. From what I could tell, my dad was the grandson of your first prison brother-in-law. What do you think? Asked the hyperactive blonde. It's only a rumor, almost a myth, but a long time ago, there was a family that combined the blood of the Senju and the Uchiha, stated the fox. Yay, the Uzumaki, you already told me this, stated Naruto with a sweat drop. Just making sure you remember. Anyways, it was said that certain members of the family had a strange power that seemed to come from almost nowhere. The only evidence that it even really existed was that the eyes of the person would change slightly. Informed Kyuubi. Define slightly. Is it like the Sharingan? That wouldn't explain everything else. Got anything else? Asked Naruto. Not at the moment, give me some time to look through my memories, I'm sure there has to be something there that fits everything. What was your other question? Asked the fox. Oh, right. How much of your chakra can I use and still be in total control? I think I want to work on that a little bit. Never know when I'll need another trump card. Stated Naruto. Just under 1 tail, your body is still unable to handle any more than that, though you can use 2 tails in your berserker mode. Is that all? Asked the demon. Yep, thanks Kurama. You're a big help, said Naruto as he faded out of his mindscape. Was that a crack at my size? Classroom. "Wake up," shouted Kiba into Naruto's ear, who appeared to be sleeping. "Why is he even here? We all know he didn't pass the exam, what's he doing here?" asked a girl named Raya, her high voice hurting everyone else's ears. "He probably thinks just because he's dressed like an Anbu that they'll let him on a team," stated a boy named Trode. "Everyone sit down and shut up," shouted Iruka as he entered the classroom. "Okay, I have a major headache and I would like to get this over with. Just remember that I am proud of all of you for passing and being on your way to your ninja career." "Hey Iruka-sensei, Naruto didn't graduate, why is he here?" shouted Kiba as he pointed to the blonde in the back left corner of the room, who appeared to have just woken up. Iruka looked towards the smirking Naruto. Something about the smirk on his face and that he didn't really care for Kiba picking on a fellow ninja made Iruka want to go along with his own little prank. "That's odd. He has a headband and he's on the list, even assigned to a team, but if Kiba said it, it must be true. I'm sorry Naruto, but you're just going to have to put up with idiots the rest of your life." Everyone was stunned. Iruka just made fun of a class member and he said that Naruto had actually passed? Was it opposite day? Now that that's over, Team 1 is Naruto zoned out at this point, not caring until his name was called Team 7, led by Kakashi Haddock, Sasuke Uchiha, Sakura Haruno, and Naruto Uzumaki. "Oh no. I'm on the team with the class idiot. At least I still have my Sasuke-kun," screeched Sakura, her voice actually breaking a glass on Iruka's desk. At this point, Naruto had no need to stay in the class, seeing how he knew exactly where his old Anbu commander was, so he got up and left, though not before he spoke his mind. "Oh no. I have the class bitch on my team, but at least I get an ex-Anbu captain as my sensei, that should even out the pain." And he left, walking right out the door, leaving a stunned classroom. -5 minutes later, Memorial Stone. "Hey Captain, how's the rock?" asked Naruto, his eyes tracking his mother's and father's names. "Now Naruto, no need to call me that anymore, now I'm Kakashi-sensei," stated Kakashi with a nice smile. "Whatever you say senpai, but we should probably get to the academy. I'm sure the Banshee and Duck Ass are going apeshit right now. I didn't make the best first impression as a teammate," stated Naruto. "I think now is a good time to start the test." -45 minutes later, classroom. Sakura was pissed. Not only did the class idiot make her look bad, but her sensei was late and the idiot was nowhere to be found. Sasuke wasn't as pissed. He got to see one of his fangirls taken down a peg, that was nice, but his sensei was late, so the two evened out. All of a sudden the door opened, but to their displeasure it was just their idiot teammate. "Oi, Kakashi wants you on the roof in 5 minutes then." Naruto poofed away, confusing the two genin. Naruto couldn't do the clone technique. -5 minutes later, on the roof. "They aren't going to get here on time. They're too self-centered to take orders from me," stated Naruto tiredly. It was like he was a recruit all over again. "Then this should work perfectly, don't worry. Have I ever let you down before?" asked Kakashi, flipping a page in his book. "Demon Country," stated Naruto. "Okay, you said you were going to let that go," stated Kakashi. "And I will, right after you teach me it, not a moment sooner," stated Naruto. "Fine, we can start tomorrow before the test," stated the copy nin. "What test? And what are you teaching the dope that I'm not learning?" It was Sasuke. He was just making his way out the door onto the roof, followed by the Banshee. "The test you two already lost 3 points out of 10 on," stated Kakashi. "What's it for? What did the three of us do to get 3 points off?" asked Sakura. "First off, just the two of you got points off. Naruto did, as ordered, so he doesn't lose points," stated Kakashi. "What was the order?" asked Sakura. "Naruto told you to be on the roof in 5 minutes, you took 7, explained Kakashi. "Why do I have to take orders from an idiot? I'm twice the ninja," he screeched at Sakura. "And 2 more points off, you are both now at 5 out of 10 points," laughed Kakashi. "What is this test for?" asked Sasuke, his tone pissed. "The test is to see if any of the 3 of you get to be on my genin team. If you pass the test, you're in the team, if you fail, you go back to the academy," stated Kakashi in a very bored manner. "You can't do that. A genin team has to have 3 genin and 1 jonin," screeched Sakura. "First off, I don't have to do anything. Second, I can choose to select an apprentice if I want, leaving 2 of you to go back to the academy." "Now shut up, it's time for introductions. You first, Pinky," stated Kakashi. "Why don't you go first, sensei?" "So we know what to say?" asked Sakura. "Okay, my name is Kakashi Haddock, my hobby's not going to say," my likes don't care to share, my dislikes are traitors and thieves, my dream is to teach the next Hokage and get a date with a certain big-chested jounin. Alright, now your turn. My name is Sakura Haruno, my hobbies are, looks over at emo boy, my likes are, looks back at Sasuke, my dislikes are Naruto Baka and Ino pig, and my dream is to, once again. Uchiha, you're up. My name is Sasuke Uchiha, I have no hobbies, I don't have many things I like, there are many things I don't like, and my dream is not a dream, it will happen, I'm going to kill a certain someone, then rebuild my clan. My name is Naruto Uzumaki, my hobbies are none of your business, my likes don't concern you, my dislikes are traitors, thieves, and idiots, my dream is to become Hokage and restore my clan. Dope, you don't have a clan. You're an orphan, stated Sasuke smugly. Naruto grit his teeth and looked to Kakashi, who simply nodded. Naruto disappeared in a seal-less body flicker. If you two want to live, I suggest you don't piss him off, he's killed more people than you've met. Training ground 7, 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, be there. And with that, Kakashi disappeared in a swirl of leaves. What do you think he meant by that? Next day, training ground 7, noon. Naruto and Kakashi had been working on it for the last 2 hours, so it was easy to see where they lost track of time. Sakura and Sasuke, however, were not amused. You're late, screeched the pink-haired girl. Sorry, I killed my alarm clock and had to give it a proper burial, stated Kakashi with an ice smile, though the loud cough from Naruto ruined the mood. Lair, she shouted again. Now that we're all here, it's time I explain the test. There are 2 bells, hold-up bells, that you must take from me by 3 o'clock, that gives you 3 hours. If you fail to get a bell, then you lose 5 points. There are also other penalties, but those are all common sense. Naruto, you don't have to participate in this exam, I already know you can complete it, stated Kakashi. Naruto nodded and started walking away. How come the dobe gets a free ride when I, Uchiha, don't, asked Sasuke smugly. Because I've known Naruto his whole life and know mostly what he is capable of, and if you both pass this test, then I'm sure Naruto will fill you in on a little bit more about himself. Right, Naruto? Asked the copy ninja. If they pass, I'd be glad to, stated Naruto with a knowing smirk. Then begin. -2 hours later. Sasuke was getting pissed off, no matter how hard he tried he couldn't get a damn bell. He had tried every approach possible, but couldn't get to a bell. How was he supposed to do it alone? Then it hit him, the point of the exercise wasn't to get the bell by yourself, but to get it with teamwork. He moved quickly to his blonde teammate, reminding himself that he was only using Naruto as a pawn to pass the test. Hey dobe, help me out to get the bell? Asked Sasuke. Naruto was surprised it had been a request instead of a demand. Say please, stated Naruto with nothing but cold and ruthless confidence in his voice. Fine, please help me get the bell? Asked Sasuke, though it was painful for him to ask for help from a non-Uchiha. Sure, you got a plan? -55 minutes later. Naruto threw a wicked spinning back kick, a move he most likely got from Guy, at the head of Kakashi, forcing him to take his eyes off Sasuke, but he wasn't an Anbu for nothing and could see through the trick that the pair was using. Naruto would distract and Sasuke would make a grab for the bells. I might have worked against a Chunin, maybe even a fresh Jounin, but not Kakashi. As they went for their last attempt, the alarm sounded, leaving the duo short of a bell. I must say, you did far better than expected, but no bell. So I'm going to go ahead and tie one of you to the post. However, I'm feeling a little off today, maybe it's because I haven't killed anyone this month. Oh well, I'm giving you one more chance after lunch, so get ready. Naruto tied Sakura to the post, she didn't try at all during the test, also she didn't get any food, and gagged her too. My head still hurts from her yelling, I'll be back in an hour, and with that, he poofed away. Wow, he really is off today, never would have thought he would give you another shot. But it won't matter, he's too fast for the two of us, stated Naruto, lying through his teeth. What about Sakura? I'm sure she can at least be enough of a distraction for me to get the bells, stated Sasuke. But she's running on empty, she would be useless unless you feed her, stated Naruto. That's the only way to get out of this situation. Fine. Open up Sakura, we need you at full go to pass, stated Sasuke as he took the gag off. All of a sudden, the sky turned dark and Kakashi appeared from nowhere. I told you not to feed her. You disobey an order to feed her? You pass. Now, 3 things happened when Kakashi said that. First, both Sasuke and Sakura yelled what? Second, Naruto handed Kakashi 50 ryo. And third, Kakashi explained. The point of this exercise is to work as a team. Which you did by giving Sakura food when I told you not to. In the ninja world, those that don't follow the rules are trash, but those that abandon teammates are worse than trash. I learned that lesson the hard way, and I still suffer from my mistakes I made, stated a depressed Kakashi. What happened to Kakashi-sensei? Asked Sakura. Naruto put a hand on Kakashi's shoulder, silently asking for permission. To tell his story he shook his head no. Maybe later, it's not a pleasant story. But, since you did pass, Naruto, would you like to fill them in? He finished with an eye smile. Yeah, might as well get it over with first understanding. If either of you speak of what you hear here, you will be killed. This is an S-ranked secret. Do you both understand? He watched them nod their heads in awe. I'm not who I appear to be, though my name is Naruto Uzumaki. I do love ramen, oranges, and pranking. The rest of what you know of me is a lie. I'm not the dead last of our class, in fact I wasn't even a true student of that class. It was a cover, to hide that I was, in fact, Anbu. But you couldn't even do a simple clone. There's no way you were an Anbu if Sasuke-kun wasn't, screeched Sakura. Shut up, though Sasuke may have been the best in the academy, I was the best in the class. The reason my grades sucked were a combination of not caring, always being tired, and choosing to make myself look bad. I was an Anbu recruit at 7 years old. During that time I wore the puppy mask, showing I was Kakashi's apprentice. I became a full-fledged member at 11, at which time I earned the fox mask and owned 3 Anbu records. Kakashi was one of my captains and has been training me along with several other members since I was 5. I have more chakra than all 3 of you combined, and I could pick apart our whole graduating class in a maximum of 3 minutes. Even if that was true, what records could you hold? Questioned Sasuke arrogantly. Kakashi, wanna fill them in? I get enough gruff at HQ over them. Asked Naruto. Gladly. First, fastest takeover of a bandit camp, 6 minutes 37 seconds, beating my sensei's record by a full minute. Second, highest confirmed kill count on a mission, 351, beating Itachi Uchiha's by 13. And the last, and my personal favorite, Naruto is the only person to ever steal Dango from Anko and make it out without a scratch. Stated Kakashi. 351? There's no way you did that, yelled Sasuke. Itachi didn't even kill that many Uchiha. How could Naruto kill that many people on one mission? Ask anyone in Anbu, stated Kakashi. It was the same mission Naruto set the bandit camp record. He went in by himself, got the hostage out, and killed them all. Wow, whispered Sakura, her whole world turned upside down. The class idiot was extremely powerful. All she could go on was hoping that Sasuke was better. Yep, oh well, let's go get lunch, my treat, started Kakashi as he walked away. It's 4 o'clock, deadpanned Naruto. Fine, early dinner, smart ass. Next day, mission assignment office. I don't care about protocol. I am not going to do countless D ranks, shouted Naruto, getting a snicker from the Anbu in the corner of the room. Something funny, Tora? Haha, yep, you have to do D ranks, laughed the Anbu named Tora. Oh yay? You're named after that damn cat I most likely have to chase. At this, Kakashi busted out laughing. It had been common knowledge in Anbu that Naruto could one-up almost anyone, well except Kakashi and Anko. Oh shut up brat, yelled Tora. The fox hunts the cat. Not the other way around, stated Naruto smugly. Just get your mission brat, sighed Tora. 2 weeks later, Naruto's mindscape. Naruto was getting pissed. Not only had he had to do 10 straight D ranks, but he couldn't even train the way he wanted to. He had to do team building exercises because his teammates refused to work with him. Sasuke still had the Uchiha stick up his ass, so he thought he could do everything himself, and Sakura hated that Naruto was better than her Sasuke-kun, so she refused to work with Naruto. On the first mission, Naruto had made fun of Sasuke, and Sakura had tried to hit him like she used to in the academy. Long story short, Naruto blocked the punch, and Sakura found a kunai at her throat before she even registered that Naruto moved. Now he was descending into the depths of his mind to speak to his tenant. Hey Kurama, what's new? Asked Naruto as he walked up to the cage. Hello Warden, I've just been laying around, looking into your question. I'd have to say, if what I found out is true, you might finally let me redecorate, stated the fox. What did you find out? Does it have to do with that eye thing you told me about? Asked Naruto. Yes, but it's bigger than we thought. It is a Dōjutsu, like the Sharingan, but that's where it gets interesting. My knowledge goes back to when I was created. I've already informed you of that, so I'll skip the details. If you don't know the story behind the tailed beasts, then look it up. It's a pretty cool concept. I looked back through all of mine and my other hosts' memories and found out something shocking. The Uzumaki are not the result of the combination of the Uchiha and the Senju. The Uchiha and Senju were split from the Uzumaki. The Sage of Six Paths was an Uzumaki. Does this mean the Dōjutsu is the Rinnegan? Asked Naruto. No, there are two separate entities, as far as I can tell. The sage had told his sons that the Rinnegan was the result of the sealing of the Juubi. What you have does not have a true name, but it has been called the Cursed Eye. Stated Kyuubi. Why is it called the Cursed Eye? A Kekkei Genkai is a gift, not a curse, stated Naruto. It's not the eye itself, but the people that get the eye. They stop all their other training and rely on it. Apparently, the eye has 5 different abilities, though I have only found 2 of them. Much like the Sharingan, you unlock each level as you master the last. From what I could tell, you unlocked the first level on the grass mission when you slaughtered that camp of bandits. Bravo, by the way, I really enjoy watching that memory. Just tell me the rest please, asked Naruto. The fox wouldn't let him forget the damn mission. Alright, fine. Like I said, you've most likely unlocked it already. You just have to trigger it, which I'm not sure how to do. It might work the same way the Sharingan works, though I'm not sure. The first stage of the eye is basically like the first stage of the Sharingan. It slows down your perception of time and allows you to predict your opponent's next move, though it is unclear if you can copy Jutsu. The second stage is, from what I can tell, a boost to your nervous system, reaction time, and anything having to do with it are increased. That's all I could manage to find, but it should help. Any questions, come back to me. Oh, and you should try to search the ruins of Uzushio. If I remember correctly, there's a secret bunker there that might help. Now get out of here, I need my beauty sleep. Yay, see you, Kurama, said Naruto as he faded out of his mind. That night. Hey Kakashi, how does someone activate the Sharingan once they unlock it? It had been 1 month. One hellacious month from the formation of the new generation of Team 7 to where we find ourselves now. In the last 4 weeks, quite a bit has happened, and only a fraction of it is good for our favorite blonde. But in the mind of one Naruto Uzumaki, the good far outweighed the bad. During training, Naruto had constantly shown up Sasuke, leaving an ever more pissed off Uchiha and an ever more bitchy, if that's even possible, Sakura. On several occasions Sasuke had challenged Naruto to a fight outside of their usual spars, which Naruto would always decline. Then Sasuke would try to force him to fight, only to be humiliated just before becoming even more of a broody brat than usual. During missions, if you could call them that, Naruto had picked up most of the workload, though he was fine with this. Naruto knows that skill is earned through blood, sweat, and hard work. So every time a mission called for something physical, he jumped at the chance to work one of his 9 metaphorical tails off. And even he had to admit, the constant work of the hated deer rank, along with his borderline psychotic training program that Kakashi, the Hokage, and Jiraiya had planned out for him, was slowly turning his already impressive physical stats to new and very noteworthy levels. He could now stop a full-powered kick from any Jonin by catching it in his hand, and even stop a kick from Guy, something not many Chunin, or even Jonin for that matter, could do. Though Sasuke and Sakura were spiteful to Naruto, he didn't care much at all about either of them, which only served to piss the Uchiha off more. Sasuke would demand to watch him train so that he could learn how he was continuing to leave the Uchiha in the dust, but whenever Naruto trained outside of the team, it was at a private training ground reserved for former and current Anbu. About 3 weeks after the team formed, Sasuke had demanded to be trained by Anbu the way Naruto had, which made Kakashi, Naruto, and even the Hokage laugh at the young Uchiha. Not just for the fact that the Uchiha thought he would get what he demanded, but just thinking about him attempting Naruto's hellacious training program. After his attempt to get the same training as his blonde teammate had failed, he went to his legal guardians, Aka, the elder advisors. That is where we find ourselves now. Council chambers. Sarutobi, you must give Uchiha some of the training he requests. We need to give our strongest genin every chance to become more powerful. He is too great an asset to let fall by the wayside. Stated Homura, one of the elder advisors. Absolutely not. Even if Sasuke Uchiha was the strongest genin, he could not be trained the way he requested. There are only a handful of ninja in this village that have the stamina and reserves to even think about that training, stated Sarutobi forcefully. And why is that? He is the last Uchiha. Nothing is out of reach for him. If anyone can do it, it is him. Sharingan is too important, stated Homura. Lord Hokage, you said even if he was the strongest genin. Are you saying there is someone stronger than the Uchiha in our ranks, as a genin? Asked Inoichi, rather confused that the Uchiha wasn't considered the strongest. Yes, several in fact. Off the top of my head I would say, Niji Hyuga, Rock Lee, Kabuto Yakushi, and the one said training was designed and developed for Naruto Uzumaki Sarutobi was cut off. The demon container cannot be stronger than the Uchiha. There is no way it could be possible. He is an orphan. He has no clan. How can he be more powerful? Yelled a nameless civilian. With everyone else in the room that didn't know of Naruto's personal training in Anbu, and by both Sarutobi and Kakashi agreeing with the councilman. There is nothing I can say without the proper people here, Tora, commanded the Hokage. Seconds later an Anbu appeared from behind the door. Bring Fox and Dog here at once. Are you sure, sir? Last time trailed off Tora. Yes. Shouted Hiruzen, not wishing to remember the last time he had called either one to a meeting. Hi, stated Tora, as he disappeared to find them. What are you playing at? There is no Fox operative, he was released from duty almost a month ago. Stated Danzo, his face showing no emotion, though he was rather curious. He knew exactly who Fox was. The only person allowed to wear the Fox mask was the container of the Kyuubi. And since Kushina had died years ago. Yes, you are correct, but please Danzo, would you inform the council on Fox and his exploits? I'm sure it will help clear things up when the time comes, asked Sarutobi, his tone far too calm for the Warhawk's liking. Danzo nodded and started. Fox was a covert Anbu operative that appeared in our ranks little over 3 years ago. During his time in Anbu he made huge strides in the areas of stealth, speed, tactics, and to top it all off, he was a juggernaut. Set 2 records on one mission for wiping out a bandit camp in the fastest time ever and killing over 350 enemies in just under 7 minutes. Fox is also said to be the only person ever to steal Dango from Anko Mitarashi and come away without even a scratch. Why is this important? Asked a truly curious Danzo. This is why, Dog, Fox, you may show yourselves now. The moment he was done talking, 2 people dropped down behind him, one tall, wearing a dog mask, the other short, wearing a fox mask, both standing at attention awaiting their orders. Everyone in the room was stunned. Not one, but 2 people were able to infiltrate a meeting without anyone but the Hokage noticing them. Remove your masks and take a seat, there is much we need to discuss, he said, pointing to the set of chairs at the opposite end of the table. Hi, Hokage-sama, the Anbu said in unison as they removed their masks and took up spots at the end of the table. Everyone on the council was shocked and silent. Not only that one of the operatives was Kakashi Haddock, but the other operative, Fox, the one that they had all heard about minutes ago, was none other than Naruto Uzumaki, the demon container. After a moment of blaring silence, the first person decided to speak up. Unfortunately for everyone, it was Councilwoman Haruno. Hokage-sama. The demon brat is impersonating an Anbu. Arrest him. She screeched. I can assure you that he is not impersonating anything. Naruto Uzumaki is a fox, just as his mother Kushina Uzumaki was a fox. Assured Sarutobi, fully aware that he basically just handed them Naruto's heritage on a silver platter. There were several murmurs until one man finally spoke up. I was unaware that Lady Kushina had a child, though that would explain his personality starting with Shikaku Nara. But if he is a true Uzumaki, shouldn't he have red hair, not blonde? Oh my god. What's wrong with Shikaku? Do you feel sick? Asked his longtime friend Chauza Akamichi. In a sense, yes. Who is Kushina always seen around? Asked Shikaku, his face pale. There was a moment of thought before someone answered the yondaime. Why is this important? Asked a civilian. What color was his hair and eyes? Asked Shikaku. Naruto smirked. Someone had finally figured it out. Unfortunately, this was sure to start an uproar in the village when it got out. Blonde hair, Blue Inoichi, and everyone else left out of the loop froze at the sudden realization. The demon child couldn't possibly be his son, could he? Do you people really run Konoha? I figured out who my parents were and that I contained the Kyuubi by myself when I was 6. How could you not figure it out until the smartest man in the village pointed it out? Asked a smirking Naruto while pointing at the Nara clan head. There was silence until Sarutobi spoke. Everything just revealed is an S-rank secret. If any of you, but myself or Naruto, tell anyone about this, you will be killed on sight. Am I understood? Your title as a counselor will not save you, nor will your being a clan head or an elder. Sarutobi, surely that boy is not Minato's son, pleaded Homura, though he already knew it was true. The only blondes in Konoha were the Yamanaka, Namikas or the Senju. Yes, his true name is Naruto Uzumaki Namikas, current clan head of both the Uzumaki and Namikas clan. Stated Sarutobi. How can he be a clan head? He is far too young, and there is no really proof that he is truly related to either Kushina or Minato, stated Kaharu, making almost the whole council give her the "are you fucking retarded" look. Well, Kakashi was made a clan head when he was 7, so it's not a matter of age, and I have the DNA test to prove who his parents were, so I guess that means that Naruto is the clan head of both the Namikas and Uzumaki. Stated Sarutobi with a hint of satisfaction in his voice. Next day, Training Ground 7. Naruto and Sasuke were currently sparring in a Taijutsu-only match. It looked that they were evenly matched, but only Sakura would be dumb enough to believe that. The truth was that while Sasuke was going at about 90%, Naruto was going at about 25%. But the fact remained that both Naruto and Sasuke were improving rapidly. In the field of Taijutsu, Sasuke was already high genin, and outside of Naruto, he was by far the best from their graduation test. Though while Sasuke was high genin, Naruto was mid-jonin and rapidly on his way to Anvil levels. The spar ended when Naruto landed a bone-jarring kick to the gut of Sasuke. Alright you two, that's enough for today. I'm very impressed. Out of the three of you, I'd say that Sasuke has improved the most over the last month, not to say that Naruto and Sakura haven't improved. It was a lie, and everyone but Sakura and the still delusional Sasuke knew it. I believe this calls for a treat. Be at the Hokage Tower by 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. I think it's time for a C rank. Stated the lazy nin. About time Naruto started stretching out. For once I agree with you, batted Sasuke, though it lacked its usual venom, something easily picked up by both Xanbu. At any rate, to reward you for your hard work, I'm teaching Sasuke and Sakura each a jutsu. Stated Kakashi happily. Why only us? Does the dobe already know it? Asked Sasuke, generally curious. It always seemed like Kakashi was more willing to help Naruto instead of him. Nope, you've both been working very hard, and I think you deserve it. Naruto has been slacking, so he doesn't get it like Kakashi, as he made 2 shadow clones. Sasuke, you will be learning a reliable genjutsu. It's the skill set that you have the most trouble with, so we're going to try and fix that. Sakura, you're going to be learning the Shadow Shuriken Jutsu. They both nodded and followed a clone to different locations. Now that I've gotten rid of them, why don't we see how far along this little secret of yours is? Asked Kakashi. Naruto had asked how to activate the Sharingan in hopes that it would work the same for his Dōjutsu. Luckily, it turned out to work perfectly, and now Naruto could activate it anytime he wanted. Flashback, 2 weeks ago, Kakashi's house. It is not well known, but the Haddock family was really a clan of lightning users. They were at the peak of their power during the First Great Shinobi War, but died down in the Second, and after the Third War only Kakashi was left in Konoha. A distant cousin was believed to be in Kiri, but there was no proof. Others had left during the Second War, and like the remaining Uzumaki, scattered to the winds. This left the rather modest compound to Kakashi. Currently, Naruto and Kakashi are sitting in the living room. Come again? Asked Kakashi, his book lay in his lap. How do you activate the Sharingan once it's unlocked? Remember the mission in Grass, how I reached levels with my fighting I still can't match. Kyuubi thinks I may have a near-extinct Dōjutsu. Explained Naruto. Kakashi knew about the mission, hell, he was the commanding officer. He also knew that Naruto spoke to Kyuubi, so neither surprised him greatly. But hearing that Naruto might have a Dōjutsu was a little much, though when you've pretty much watched the kid grow up you stopped being surprised. From what I know, you just send chakra to your eyes and think about them activating. That's how Itachi showed me how to do it, though it's much too much trouble to reactivate it once I power it down. Naruto tried it, and amazingly it worked. The world around him seemed to slow down, and everything seemed clearer. Do my eyes look any different? Asked Naruto. Kakashi studied them for a minute, and they responded with, there's a white diamond shape in the iris, colored part of your eye. Like the Sharingan has Tomo channel some more chakra into your eyes. Naruto did, as told, and watched his sensei fall into a trance-like state. Kakashi? You okay? Asked the blonde, as he stopped the extra flow of chakra to his eyes. It took a minute for Kakashi to respond. Go to the bathroom and look in the mirror. You'll see what I saw, he said cryptically, and sat back down on the couch he was sitting on before and rested his head in his palms. Naruto was confused by this, but did as instructed. He got up and made his way toward the bathroom at what felt like a slow pace. He realized that, while his eyes were activated, everything seemed much slower, even his own movements felt slower. But they also felt more precise, almost robotic. It felt like there was no wasted movement. When he finally made it to the bathroom and looked in the mirror, he was stunned. Though his eyes were the same color, as usual, his pupil was slightly larger, and in the iris of each eye there was one elongated diamond, both on the side facing away from his nose. The diamond had no color, or rather, it was the same off-white as the rest of his eye. He had to admit, they looked cool. He thought cooler than the Sharingan he had seen on Itachi and Kakashi. Then he remembered that Kakashi had told him to channel more chakra to his eyes, so he did, but what he found wasn't what he had expected. The diamonds started to rotate around his pupil. They started to look like swirling water, almost a whirlpool in the middle of his eye. He noticed the more chakra he used, the faster the diamonds would spin, until he could feel himself losing focus, almost like he was being drawn into them. After a minute, he looked around and saw he was no longer in Kakashi's bathroom, but instead in the sewers that held the Kyuubi. He was shocked to find himself there, because he didn't try to come here. He started looking around for the fox, but couldn't find anything. He was in a completely different section of his mind. He couldn't make heads or tails of what he was seeing, so he returned to the real world. "Naruto? You alright?" asked the worried Kakashi as he helped the blonde up off the floor. "Yay, I'm fine. What happened to you?" "When my eyes started spinning," asked Naruto. Maybe he was just so entranced by the eyes that he ended up sending himself to his mind. "It was like looking down into a maelstrom of water. After a while it felt like I was being pulled into a void or something." "Did the same thing happen to you?" asked Kakashi, still recovering from whatever Naruto's eyes had done. "I was sucked into my mind. It was weird though. It was a part I have never been in before." "What's a maelstrom?" asked Naruto. End flashback. "Alright, first we spar without it, then with it, pure to jutsu. Let's go," stated Kakashi as both he and Naruto dropped into a stance, Kakashi using the Goken, which Guy had taught him. Naruto, however, used a familiar stance to Kakashi, the stance of a taijutsu that was never named, the taijutsu that Minato Namikaze created. "Go." In a burst of speed, Naruto took off, almost faster than Kakashi could track. Almost, Kakashi blocked a kick to his chest and parried a punch to the face before taking a full-body shoulder slam to his sternum. Kakashi held his ground, if just barely, from the surprise shoulder strike and retaliated with a vicious backhand that Naruto could react to in time and took the full force of it into his cheek. "Very good, I'd say you're about low to mid jonin in taijutsu. Now let's see what you can do with the eyes." Next day, Training Ground 7, 8:57. Once again, Sasuke and Sakura were standing by the posts of the training field, waiting for their teammate and sensei. It was a common occurrence. Kakashi was always late, and Naruto was either with him or arrived 5 to 10 minutes before the copy nin. Today was their first C-rank mission, and they really didn't want to be late, even if they thought that the other two would most likely be late anyways. "So how long until done and sensei are here?" Sasuke asked Sakura, much to the surprise of the pink-haired banshee. He wouldn't admit it, but she was the one person on the team he could stand. Even though he disliked the blonde nin, he was developing an amount of respect for him, even going as far as to see him as a rival. Right about now, came two lazy voices behind them. They turned to see both Naruto and Kakashi sitting on a post, looking rather bored. Kakashi reading the newest Icha and Naruto reading an old, green-covered novel. "You're here on time?" questioned Sakura in shock. Neither of them had been there on time all month. Why did they start now? "Yep, now let's go get that C rank," started Kakashi as he hopped off the post and started to walk away, still reading the smut. He was followed closely by Naruto, who was still reading the old green novel. Minus 15 minutes later, mission assignment desk. "Hey, Iruka-sensei, Jiji, how have you been?" asked Naruto as he approached the desk and put the book in his utility pouch. "I'm fine, Naruto. How about you?" asked Iruka, startled that Naruto would be reading anything that wasn't ninja-related. "Ready for another D rank?" asked the Anbu in the corner of the room. "Shut it, bore. I'm done with D ranks. We're here for a C rank," stated Naruto, knowing that it wasn't that big of an upgrade. "Wow. So instead of walking a dog you'll be an errand boy. That's amazing," stated Boar, his words laced with sarcasm. "Hey Boar, who won last time?" asked a smirking Naruto. "Oh cram it. How the hell am I supposed to beat 1,000 clones? Stated a very angry boar, still trying to recover some pride from the beating he took from the blonde during a spar 4 months ago. Kakashi can do it, stated Naruto while pointing at his ex-captain. This time boar fell silent, though it was obvious he was mouthing something behind his mask, most likely swear words. As much as I like watching Genin one-up my Anbu, stated a chuckling Saratobi. I think it's time to give you your assignment, you can come in now, Tazuna. From the waiting area came a rather plump gray-haired man, nursing a bottle of sake. These brats and the scarecrow are going to protect me? I have a hard time believing that. Unless you're expecting more than a couple of bandits, we will be fine. Stated Naruto, shooting a glance at Kakashi, which he picked up without anyone else noticing. Alright, I guess, we leave in 1 hour, stated the fat drunk, as he walked out of the room, most likely to get his belongings from whatever hotel he was staying at. You heard him, gather enough supplies for a 2-week trip. Bring any weapons you think necessary. Stated Kakashi, as he gave the silent command for Naruto to follow him. Minus 30 minutes later, Haddock compound. After they left the mission office, Naruto and Kakashi went to the shinobi supply store to get a new set of kunai and a couple of training supplies. Then they headed to Kakashi's compound to discuss the mission. So you think that there's more here than meets the eye? I'm proud to call you my student. Kakashi started with an eye smile. Yay, if he was just afraid of bandits there wouldn't be any worry, that's why I think he's lying to us. I checked with Bookworm. Wave has been in an economic free fall ever since all the shipping companies were bought up by some company 2 years ago. I'm willing to bet that whoever is behind the company doesn't want this bridge built. Deducted Naruto. Anyone with the kind of money it would take to run roughshod over a whole country could afford some heavy hitters to take out a target. Should we still take the mission? Pondered the lazy nin aloud. We have to. We have no proof that this mission isn't legitimate, and it would make Konoha seem weak if we turn down this mission, stated Naruto. Then we're going to need a plan in case things head south. Minus 15 minutes later, at the gate. Everyone here? Good, let's move out, stated Kakashi. Not even waiting for a response. Sakura and Sasuke followed immediately, not noticing that the blonde was not part of the group. Though this didn't get by Tazuna. Where's the blonde kid? He not coming? Asked the bridge builder. No, he'll catch up, he said something about needing to fuel up, then headed off to his favorite ramen stand. He should catch up in about 2 hours. Stated Kakashi nonchalantly. Tazuna had his doubts until he saw the look on the other genin faces. It was the look of complete understanding with a healthy dose of happiness. An hour and a half later. The group of 4 had set a good pace so far and had covered a good chunk of the journey. Though the loud blonde still had not caught up, which even the pink-haired banshee had picked up by now, and being a WQI, woman of questionable intelligence, she had to blurt out the fact that she had finally caught up to the situation. Hey Kakashi-sensei? Where's Naruto? He should have been here by now, she asked loudly, much to the annoyance of the males in the group. He will be here when he is needed. He did this on the air rank in grass country, and you both know how that turned out, stated the bored Kakashi. What happened? Asked Tazuna. To hear that the blonde had been on an air rank was very reassuring, if only he was here with them. He was supposed to meet up with us after another mission, but got caught up with a missing nin. By the time he got to the camp we were staking out, one of our operatives had been captured. The man captured was one of the few people in Naruto's life that has always looked after him. He felt it was his fault because he didn't make it on time. He snuck in and got the operative out. Unfortunately, they had tortured him to give the information. When Naruto saw what had been done to him in order to gain information, he flipped and went back in to kill everyone in the camp, 325 bandits and 26 missing ninja. Well, that's all we could count, but from the maths we did it was more than that. He said with a hint of fear in his voice, his mind flashing to the horror that befell the bandits. What do you mean, that all we could count and the maths we did was more than that? Asked Sasuke. We could only find about 300 full bodies, but it was reported that there were over 600 people in the camp, and we were positive that no one escaped, stated a now depressed Kakashi, shocking everyone. Full bodies? What's does that mean? Asked the shocked Sakura. That's how many bodies still had their heads, Kakashi said with a very uncharacteristic crack in his voice. I was a jonin during the Third Great War and watched Minato-sensei devastate Iwa's army, but I've never seen anything as gruesome as what Naruto does to anyone who hurts the people close to him, and it's not the only time he's done it. Now if you don't mind I'd like to stop talking about it, stated Kakashi. No one wanted to continue to talk about that subject, though one of them was deep in thought. How could Naruto do something like that? All because those people hurt someone close to him? But he seems so tame. Then again, so did Itachi. Wait, what happened to Itachi? Wondered Sasuke, remembering one of Itachi's friends going missing, and a week later Itachi killing off the clan. Half an hour later. The group was still in a lull from what they had heard about their young blonde acquaintance. They had just walked past a puddle, but only Kakashi had noticed it. Just after they had made it past the puddle, two figures seemingly grew out of the small pool of water and shot towards the traveling group. The two dark-clad figures had just appeared behind the group out of an unnatural puddle. They sent a glance at each other, and that seemed to be the only thing needed to launch their assault. They took off a chain connecting the gauntlets on their wrist. The chain proved useful. As they charged the group, they were able to wrap the legendary copy Nin in the razor-sharp chain, and with a vicious pull of their arms, the chain ripped him into a plethora of Kakashi chunks. Both Sakura and Sasuke were frozen in fear. Their sensei was just killed, and their teammate was nowhere to be found. Sasuke began to wonder if he had also been killed as he tried to catch up. Sasuke quickly rediscovered his ego and began to charge the duo recklessly. After all, he was an Uchiha, and for some reason, Sasuke thought that made him invincible. As he neared the offending ninja, they moved faster than he could react, and they both backhanded the last Uchiha away like a fly. Sakura was now panicking. Her sensei was dead, her crush was just bitch-slapped, and although she wouldn't admit it, her only hope was a boy, no, a man named Naruto. The duo charged her, and although she was on the verge of pissing herself, she held her ground. As they drew closer, she closed her eyes and waited for the end. She waited for what seemed like hours, though it was by a second, until she heard a sound she was unfamiliar with. It sounded like a sword being sheathed, but along with this sound was the sound of gurgling. Curiosity got the better of her, and she opened her eyes to see what it was. What he saw shocked her. In front of her, the two men stood motionless, seemingly frozen in time, with a mixture of shock and fear on their faces. They both toppled over to reveal her teammate Naruto, and the look in his eyes sent her mind deeper into shock. It was the look she had heard her father speak about, the look of a man that just protected something he considered precious, though at the same time it was mixed with something that just didn't fit on Naruto's face, sorrow. Naruto? She questioned, then looked at the men that had attacked, a kunai in the base of both of their skulls. Are you both alright? Even his tone seemed like it didn't belong to the blonde idiot that she was teamed with. Fine, stated Sasuke with a hint of venom in his voice, just returning from the bitch-slapped induced flight. Good, then we can continue the mission, stated Naruto, as he made three hand signs. When he was done, Kakashi appeared out of nowhere, reading his book, but I think it's time that Tazuna tells us why he lied about the mission details. Minus 45 minutes later, Hokage's office. The Sannin was currently battling the second greatest enemy to mankind, a creature far worse than any experiment created by the traitorous snake Sannin paperwork. He was absent-mindedly wondering how much more paperwork he would have to do if he torched all of the paperwork. He was pulled from his musings as an Anbu appeared before him. Lord Hokage, we've just received word from a team on a C rank. It seems the mission has been upgraded to at least an A rank. What are we to do? Asked the Baki-masked Anbu. What team? He asked absent-mindedly. Team 7, sir. Though they haven't asked for any help, just for us to retrieve two bodies. Answered the Anbu. Ah, makes sense, thank you for the information, you may go now. Answered the Sannin, not showing any worry at all. If it was any other genin team, he would send backup immediately. However, this was Kakashi's team, which meant Naruto was also there, and those two alone could handle almost any A rank. Minus 55 minutes later, border of the Land of Fire. So we just need to wait for a boat? Well, I'm going to take a nap. Wake me up when it gets here, stated Naruto as he dropped where he stood and covered his eyes with his Konoha headband. How can you just sleep? There's a man out there trying to get us all killed, and you're about to take a nap? Asked Sakura. It wasn't yelling at him, she was truly curious as to how Naruto could be so calm. After all, Tazuna had informed them about Geto and his criminal empire after the demon brothers attacked, who, by the way, Naruto killed. Yep, was all he answered as he started to drift off. Sorry Naruto, your beauty sleep will need to wait, it seems the boat has arrived, stated aboard Kakashi, though he was smirking under his mask. Crap, was all Naruto said as he got up and made his way over to the shore where the boat was about to land. Minus 35 minutes later, shore of the Land of Waves. Naruto, Formation K was the command delivered by Kakashi. Naruto nodded and shot off into the woods next to the path they would be traveling. "Why is Naruto going into the woods? Wouldn't he be better with us?" asked Azuna. "No, Naruto specializes in stealth, information gathering, and being a juggernaut to hit the enemy after the fight starts. That's why he wasn't with us until the demon brothers attacked. He was watching from a distance," explained Kakashi. "His stealth is also to the point that he could sneak up on my replacement and current Anbu commander, an Anbu named Tora." Minus 42 minutes later, 10 minutes from Tazuna's house. Everybody down yelled at Kakashi as he tackled Tazuna. Sakura and Sasuke soon followed in the act of hitting the deck. They were lucky to do so because a giant, cleaver-like sword flew through the area once occupied by their necks and stuck into the tree behind them. They turned to see a man standing on the sword's handle, facing away from them. "Hand over the bridge builder, and I'll leave you three alone," stated the odd man in a gravel-like voice. Zabuza Mamachi, a rank missing nin from the land of water, wanted for the assassination attempt of the Yonde Mizuki. "What a pleasure to finally see you again. You won't walk away from me twice," came a disemboweled voice from almost everywhere at once. "There were only 3 idiots that would talk to me like that, kiss him, who I know you're not. Raiga, you're not crazy enough to be him. And finally that fox bastard who killed my second apprentice. So why don't you show yourself before I kill your comrades?" listed off Zabuza. "Why don't you show your little hidden Anbu? I'm sure that he's here. If he shows, I show," came the same disembodied voice as before. Sakura and Sasuke along with Tazuna were both shocked and confused. Did the kid know this maniac? "Don't know what you're talking about. I'm a lone wolf after you literally tore Tumane's head off, so why don't we settle this like men? You and I, so I can finally get revenge for my apprentice," barked out Zabuza. "How about a deal? If I win, you join us. If you beat us, well, it's obvious what would happen then," stated the voice, with Naruto slowly sneaking up behind him. "Ha, you got yourself a deal, kid. If you win, I'll join you, but I decide when I'm beaten. Now show yourself," yelled Zabuza. Gladly, a ghostly whisper came behind Zabuza. He spun around almost too fast to see and swung his massive sword, cutting Naruto in half. Or so it seemed. The moment before the sword connected, Naruto turned into an outline. "What? An afterimage?" shouted Sasuke. He had only heard of people that fast, he always thought it was a myth. "I must admit, you're better than last time, but then again, so am I," he stated while flashing through a hand sign hidden mist jutsu. The air became thick with mist and chakra, separating Naruto from the view of his team. There was a loud clang of metal on metal, followed by a taunt. "Zabuza, this mist won't help as much as you think it will. I was a member of Anbu, don't take me lightly." Sasuke was scared shitless, the pure amount of killing intent rolling, no, exploding off of the blonde, and the swordsmen were almost too much for him. He brought a kunai up to his throat and was about to plunge it into his jugular when Kakashi grabbed his hand and pulled the kunai away. "Don't be a coward, you're a leaf shinobi, act like it. Punk, you're dead," shouted Zabuza as he brought his blade around once again. Naruto had to wonder just what kind of strength one would need to be whipping around a blade that big, sometimes even with one hand. Naruto knew he had to go all out to even have a hope of winning this little battle. He silently released his weights and activated his eyes. Just as his eyes started to draw chakra, he felt it. He somehow unlocked the second level of his eyes. It felt like his whole body was energized, even with the first stage of his eyes. He felt like he was moving at his normal speeds, and combining the first and second levels of the eyes produced an incredible ability. The first level's ability to slow down his perception of time, along with the ability to predict attacks, along with the second, a boosted nervous system that allowed faster reaction time and swifter movements, were an incredible advantage. Zabuza was getting pissed. He just could not hit this kid. He could react far too quickly. Zabuza increased the mist to the point that Naruto quite literally couldn't see past his nose, but thanks to his ability to predict attacks along with his increased reflexes, Anbu training kept him from being caught by the edge of the sword, but not by much. "How can you keep dodging me, god damn it? It's a secret, but I'll tell you when you join us," stated Naruto as he dodged another swing, silently deciding he needed to end this or he might lose his life. "You're never going to beat me, kid, not even if there were 100 of you," stated Zabuza as he continued his onslaught of slashes. "Now there's an idea. Multi-shadow clone jutsu." In less than a second, about 300 Narutos appeared in a plume of smoke. Let's even the playing field. Wind release, great breakthrough. An amazing wind literally blew the mist away. Kakashi, let's finish this. Formation 2. After he said that, Kakashi appeared by his side in Formation 2. Huh? You're finally done messing around then. Let's end this. He said lazily. Same as Demon Country, bring the heat. Fire style, great fire dragon bullet. Wind release, tornado dragon. The two powerful jutsu combined to make a raging inferno of a dragon. Water style, water wall jutsu. The wall of water was just able to stop the fire side of the attack. Unfortunately for Zabuza, his wall didn't stop the wind dragon, and Zabuza took almost the full force of the dragon to the face chest. He was thrown back into and through a tree. It's over Zabuza, join us, and your life will be spared, stated Naruto as he approached the man currently having a large tree in. I guess I've been beaten. You win the bet, I'll go with. Zabuza was cut off by two needles that buried themselves into the neck of Zabuza. Thank you all for keeping him occupied for me, I've been chasing him for the last 3 years. Stated the hunter Nin as he appeared from behind a tree. Here, let me help with the decapitation, said Naruto with a knowing smile. Then the hunter Nin shot forward and grabbed the body of Zabuza and disappeared in poof of smoke. Kakashi, how long have you had your headband up? Thump. Kakashi collapsed over, Sharingan still uncovered. That's a good idea, stated Naruto before his eyes rolled back and he too fell to the ground. Which way to your house, Tazuna? Asked Sakura. Next day, noon. After Naruto and Kakashi had passed out, they were carried to Tazuna's home by Sasuke and Sakura. Kakashi had just woken up, though Naruto was still in a deep sleep, though Kakashi just figured that he was either talking to the fox or having a ramen dream. Naruto's mindscape. So what are you saying exactly? Asked Naruto. I think the reason you suffered from chakra exhaustion isn't because of the 3 high-powered jutsu you used, but because of the extensive use of your eyes. I don't think you've mastered this new level, and because of that they drew way more chakra than your first stage did. Though it's only a theory, you really should ask the Hokage to allow you to go search the ruins of Uzoshiogakure. I bet you could find some answers there, hell I bet that there's a good chunk of that village still standing. Stated the Kyuubi with a bit of a laugh, though Naruto didn't know why. He just filed it underweight for the right time. What do you mean mastered? All I needed to do was unlock it, right? That's how the Sharingan works? Questioned Naruto. You're right there, Kit, that is how that damned Sharingan works, but you don't have the Sharingan. Have you decided what you're going to name yet? Asked the Great Fox, truly curious as to what he would come up with. Don't know? I'm probably just going to wait until I'm able to go to Uzoshiogakure. That way I can hopefully get some more information on this thing. Did you just call me Kit? Asked Naruto with a raised eyebrow. No, now get out of here, your team is starting to freak you that you're not waking up. Oh, and look in a mirror, and with that, Kyuubi faded out of sight, and Naruto woke up. Waking world. Naruto? You in there? Asked Sasuke. The only reason he was asking was because Naruto seemed to be switching between emotions like Choji goes through a pork barbecue. He's fine, he does that when he dreams about ramen like Kakashi. He knew that Naruto was conversing with the fox, he would have to ask later. It wasn't just about ramen. There was a sea of ramen, but it turned out to be a bunch of snakes. I hate that dream, said Naruto, expertly covering the fact he was conversing with his tenant. Again? Kakashi added to the cover story. That's the second time this month? Maybe you should see your old friend and see what that dream is all about. Yay, that's probably a good idea, though we should probably discuss what to do when Zabuza returns. Stated Naruto. What do you mean? That hunter Nin killed him? Questioned Sasuke. No, the area the needles hit couldn't kill, it put him in a death-like state. He's going to be back, and this time Zabuza won't take me lightly. I'm not on his level, and that Anbu of his was low Chunin last time we fought and uses weird jutsu. Stated Naruto. Well, I still can't move, so Naruto, you handle the training. Every morning until I can come help out. Start with tree climbing and whatever else you can think of. Now get going, I have read to get caught up on, stating the copy Nin with a nice smile. Damn you pervy haddock, alright you heard him, get some food and meet me in the clearing on the west side of the house in 45 minutes and get ready for my version of tree climbing, said Naruto with a sadistic grin. Minus 45 minutes later, clearing. Okay, today you will be climbing to the tops of those trees using only your feet. This workout is a slimmed-down version of my Anbu workout, stated Naruto, while pointing at 3 tall trees on the edge of the clearing. 2 questions. 1. How the hell do you do that, and 2, how is this going to make me stronger? Asked Sasuke, excited that he would finally get the training that he had demanded a month ago. Focus chakra to the bottom of your feet, use that to form a type of suction to the tree. Too much chakra, and you rip the bark off, too little, and you fall off. The key is a good understanding of the balance needed for this exercise. To add to the usefulness of this exercise, every time you fail to make it to the top, do 5 push-ups, sit-ups, and squats. Mark your progress with a kunai and try to make it to the top in the next 3 days. Go. Instructed Naruto. He watched as Sasuke made it about a fourth of the way before he overloaded the bark and shot off. Wow, it took me an hour to get that far. He then turned to see Sakura sitting on a tree branch painting. He figured that would happen, she has near perfect control, but almost no reserves. Keep going Sakura, when you can't go higher come down and take a 10-minute break, then do your workout. -2 hours later. Sakura? You alright? Asked Naruto. She was laying face down on the ground, and every 3 to 4 minutes she would moan in pain. Sasuke was a little better off. He was leaning against a tree with his eyes closed, too tired to actually keep them open. You both did pretty good, almost an entire quarter of my morning workout. A quarter? How the hell is that a quarter? Shouted Sasuke, he had to be lying, no human being could possibly be able to do that 4 times. Yep, a quarter, and you didn't even make it to the hard stuff. Come on, I'll carry you both back and give you a medical pill so you can at least move. They both just nodded, they couldn't even move so there wasn't much choice. The both figured he would make a shadow clone each to carry them, they were wrong. Naruto scooped up Sasuke and slung him over his shoulder while he picked up Sakura bridal style and without using hand signs, disappeared in a swirl of wind. -15 seconds later, Tazuna's living room. Yo, stated Kakashi, who by this point was able to brace himself against a wall and scoot along, was sitting in a recliner and, much to the dismay of Tsunami, reading his book. How was the training? I had them do my warm-up, it was funny to watch, giggled Naruto. Sakura and Sasuke just grunted as Naruto set them down on the couch absent-mindedly, not realizing he put Sasuke on top of Sakura while they were facing each other. How far did they get? Asked Kakashi. Sasuke can consistently make it up the tree, but he can't seem to stay focused enough to make it all the way. Sakura can make it to the top, but only once, her reserves are minuscule. What do you want them to work on after they're done tomorrow? I was thinking about water walking and elemental affinities. We could, and you could still use some work on your wind affinity, so we could do that. I would like to see the trees though, wouldn't you? Asked Kakashi in code. Naruto nodded and lifted Kakashi out of the chair. The two then left through the front door and sat on the porch. What did you need to say that couldn't be said in there? Asked Naruto. I would like to ask what you and the fox were talking about this morning, and I was wondering how you could react faster than Zabuza could move. Stated Kakashi plainly. They're two in the same. I was talking to Fluffball about the new level I've unlocked. He said I haven't mastered it, so I lost more chakra than I should have. Stated Naruto. Let me see your eyes, I think I have a theory, stated Kakashi as he turned to Naruto. Naruto activated his eye to show there were 2 diamonds on one eye, but only one on the other. I believe that to master a level of your eyes, you have to have the diamond for the other eye, maybe then it won't suck the power right out of your body. Try just using the first level. Naruto did just that and was stunned, the draining he had felt earlier was down to almost a trickle. It's way less than the second stage, but that might be just because of the difference in level. Wanna head back inside? I'm really hungry. When aren't you hungry? Zabuza's hideout. Son of a bitch. Do you always have to go for the neck? Asked Zabuza as he pulled the needle out of his jugular. I'm sorry Zabuza-sama, I had to make it look like I had killed you so as not to raise suspicion, though they know already, that blonde boy is quite smart. Responded Haku. Zabuza sat quiet for a minute, several emotions running through his eyes. He sat up, even though his body was barely able to do so. He hung his head, this was something he really didn't want to do, but he had to think about the future. Haku, what do you think about the Leaf Village? -4 days later, Bridge, 2 days till Zabuza is back to full. The last 3 days had been what some would call hell, those that would call it that were Sasuke and Sakura. The training regiment had only increased with each passing day. They were now at a level with tree climbing that they could practice on the beams of the bridge, so they all could be on the bridge the whole time. After showing proficient skill in tree walking, Naruto started on stage 2 of his special training regiment, sparring on a horizontal surface upside down. This helps with chakra control, reserves, and Dōjutsu, but also helps with speed and strength since you're fighting gravity the whole time you're sparring. Needless to say, both Sakura and Sasuke were getting much stronger. Though Naruto wasn't slacking, Kakashi had found a way for Naruto to train his wind affinity while also working on his water affinity, though it was very taxing, and Naruto could only do this training for about an hour a day. Naruto would make 5 clones and go out in the water. Naruto would stand in the middle of his clones and spin wind chakra around himself, while the clones would spin the water around him, making a whirlpool. The real Naruto would hover himself in the middle of the whirlpool while keeping the sides from closing in on him. Overall, it was very effective training, but the chakra output of the 5 clones along with his own output was testing even his ridiculous reserves. Currently, Kakashi was having them all do physical training by helping out with the bridge building. This served 2 purposes, as the genin would get physically stronger and the bridge was becoming well ahead of schedule due to the genin and Naruto's clones, which would pressure Zabuza to fight earlier than his body was ready for. So far, both ideas seemed to work perfectly. Tazuna's home dining room. I hate your poker face, Kakashi," stated Naruto as he set his cards down. It was true, when Kakashi had his mask on, which is always, he was unreadable. "Well, maybe if you two wore a mask you could play poker like me?" suggested Kakashi with a nice smile. "Why do you guys try so hard?" It was a little voice, timid and weak, but you could tell that it once held joy. It was the voice of Tsunami's son, Inari. "'Cause he's won almost half the money I have, and I want it back," stated Naruto as he dealt another set of cards. "No, you idiot. Why do you train so hard? Gato is just going to kill you. You have no chance. No one can beat Gato," shouted Inari. "Kid, I've lived through way too much to just roll over and die now. I'm not going to give up until I achieve my goals, so there's no way I'm going to let some smelly midget do what my own village couldn't," stated Naruto with an amount of sadness in his voice. "You think you've lived through a lot? You live in a hidden village. You're a ninja. How could you have had a bad life? There's no way you even know what pain is," shouted Inari. Kakashi's eyes widened. This wasn't going to end well, it never ended well. "Hey kid, come outside with me, in fact everyone come outside if you would," stated Naruto with no tone in his voice. Kakashi knew what was coming, it was something no man should witness. Everyone got up and walked out behind the young blonde. Kakashi knew what was coming, and Naruto was smart to bring them all outside. Everyone was now standing in the clearing on the side of the home, waiting for whatever the blonde had in store. "So kid, you don't think I know what suffering is? Let me show you some moments of my life through my eyes. Ninja art, memory vision jutsu." Thanks for watching my video, leave a like if you enjoyed my video, and also do consider subscribing to my channel for more awesome content. If you want the next part of this story, let me know in the comment box. See you next time, till then sayonara.